Hello and welcome to what should have been our summer of village fun. Sad face. But instead of that, this summer we have a selection and acquired taste, a menu of sorts of videos for you to enjoy starting today. We have a series looking at where on earth is God, the unique presence of God through history. We have a series of videos where we talk about the movies and TV shows and games and other pop culture things and how they intersect with faith that'll be coming out during the week. And we also, starting right now, right in this very video that you are watching right now, catch up with some people who would never have made it to the village anyway because they live so far, far away. Tonight, we start this conversation off with Sophie. I couldn't think of how to introduce you.
Hello. That's okay. That was my name.
It's not that I forgot it. I was thinking how to introduce you with what do you call her from Liverpool?
Well,
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. So I've given the game away because not that it was much of a game, but where are you?
I'm in Liverpool.
Ah. Okay. So how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Just getting used to lockdown life after about 16 weeks or something like that. No, it's been that much.
Probably.
Around there.
You're only just getting used to it?
Yeah, it took me a while. I'm a slow learner.
What have you learned?
Well, I've learned
Straight into the deep stuff.
Yeah, actually, not to go too deep. I've learned how to grow things over this lockdown period.
Okay, what are you growing?
I'm growing peppers and chilies and tomatoes and strawberries and mint and basil and onions and marigolds and a baby.
Hang on, let's just back up a wee bit there. Marigolds?
Yeah.
As in the gloves?
No, a flower.
Oh, right. That was the one I tripped up on.
Wait, what? Marigold gloves?
Are they not the big yellow gloves?
I don't know.
Okay, but well, you don't grow them, so you grow flowers. Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the next one?
A baby.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
On behalf of everybody watching this.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, we're into our 6th month now. So only 3 more to go after this. And then we'll have another Blundell.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
And how are you? Can you balance things yet?
On my stomach.
I don't know, is that inappropriate to ask?
No, it's fine. No, I'm not quite there. I mean, I'm very much showing, but I haven't actually learned to balance anything. Although I haven't tried, so...
Are you looking forward to being able to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not great with any sort of dish or drink on any surface, never mind my stomach, but we'll see. Maybe I should catalogue like the bad side of learning that skill. My Instagram stories. I could start like Lindsay's karaoke's.
Different
a series.
You could start piling things up.
Yeah. Hi, can I go?
Okay, that's very exciting.
Thank you.
That's very cool. Yeah. What have you been up to the last year with work-wise, and what are you doing in Liverpool, and why are you not here?
Yeah, sure. So I moved to Liverpool for university originally, and then stayed for a year to do an internship with my church here, and then I got married, and now I live here. But I also work for UCCF, which is a charity that kind of tries to share the gospel with students on university campuses. So I work with 2 unis in particular, one in Liverpool and one in Chester. So.
Okay, so you're doing student ministry work, working alongside the I can't remember if it's SUs or CUs whenever you're in university.
CUs, yeah, Christian unions.
Oh yeah, UCCF, CU, that makes sense. And that's the organization that also runs the Forum program in Wales.
Well, yeah, in Wales. That could be confusing, I guess, right? Because is the Forum still a thing in White Abbey?
Yeah, that's right, that could be. Yeah.
So not the White Abbey one. We don't run that.
Yeah.
But we do run a Forum camp in Wales. But this year we're online as well because of lockdown. But we've got a couple of big names, so it's very exciting for our students, like John Piper and Don Carson.
Oh.
Be a good week.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So how has lockdown then affected your ability to staff work? You're a staff worker, aren't you?
Yes. I mean, I guess it's affected it quite heavily considering all the students are not here and not allowed to meet in person. It started with a lot of Zoom calls and just trying to do our normal stuff, but online. And our charity, our UCCF as a whole, decided actually we're unable to do our work effectively, and so kind of applied for the furlough scheme, job retention sort of stuff. And so I haven't been working since maybe before May.
Okay.
So it's been a few months of.
And how has that affected your work then? Because that would be university time. That would be exam time at university.
Yeah, so it's affected it massively, really, because, well, one, CUs had to move all of their stuff online. So they still met as a CU, but using Zoom or just uploading the speaker's talk to their Facebook pages, or they were coming up with different ways to do that. And the students ended up having to do all of that on their own with no staff workers present. So that was like one main issue. But then also
able to be there in the support role.
Yeah, and then going forward as well, they're starting to think through their freshers weeks and how they welcome new students as well.
In September.
Yeah, and we haven't been there to help them with any of that planning either.
Okay, and you would normally be you'd be very heavily involved in running of those, preparing those.
Yeah.
I suppose like the likes of those kind of things are similar to like the Village Week, that there is months of preparation unseen beforehand.
Yeah, that's right. So we would have had a training weekend, like a full weekend, around the beginning of May, so before exams, but in order to really prepare for the next term and kind of get all of our speakers in place, make sure our weekend away is prepped, forum group is ready to go, and the freshers weeks are ready. And that was completely gone because we weren't able to meet in person, weren't able to work at all. So the furlough scheme means that I couldn't even really contact my students. I wasn't allowed to talk about work at all. So I think it's been quite tough, especially on the new committees that come in, and the new leaders, student leaders that come in, and really they don't know what they're doing at all at the beginning. You're like a seasoned pro like Cameron, who's I think done 2 terms, but yeah, so just quite a big hit really to the start of the year for them, but I think they're doing okay. I hope. I don't know.
And is there any kind of indication of what that'll look like in September, if unis are maybe on or maybe online?
Yeah, so we've had a few kind of national chats where we've been called out of furlough for one day. And they're talking a lot about small groups online and what that'll look like going forward. So there's people that aren't furloughed in the office, and they're kind of coming up with strategies going forward. I'll be called back to work kind of every Tuesday in July, and then back to work full time in August. So we'll learn more about those strategies and hopefully be able to implement them as we go forward then. It'd just be a lot shorter time to really prepare and get everything ready. Yeah.
Excuse me.
You should indeed.
I'll try and cut that out. Right.
It's a good thing we're not beside each other, really, isn't it?
Yes.
It's not good for COVID stuff.
I think the computer screen needs to be 2 meters apart.
Yeah.
Where were we? There was something I was going to ask. That was a really good question too. Oh yeah. So, for for people who maybe aren't involved in CUs and things together, is it a more difficult time for inviting people to come along and join in, or is that maybe become a bit easier? Have you any kind of indication, maybe even from the students?
As in Christian students inviting non-Christian friends?
Well, both.
Or
If you were a Christian so some of our guys will be going off to uni and maybe thinking about, is it worthwhile in being involved in a CU?
Oh, sure.
If you were not, and then something like this happens, is it hard to kind of rely on those kind of relationships if you hadn't been going? And then also, for like evangelism and outreach, is this an opportunity that's certainly one that's unlike any other, but has it been making things more shareable in that sense? They're two very polar opposite different questions.
Yeah, sure. I think in terms of non-Christians engaging, maybe for the first time, this is maybe quite a positive thing for them, in the sense that they can log on online and not really have to tell anybody that what they're doing or what they're watching for the first time. So joining a church service, or maybe watching a CU video that's been uploaded, that might be quite a good segue in, rather than walking into a room that you know is full of Christians. That can be quite intimidating, I think, at the beginning. In terms of like sharing that with your friends as well, I've really seen students step up and be really bold in their social media usage in order to share either the difficulties or some of the real blessings that have come out of lockdown life. And I think going forward as well, with communities coming online, it means that they're going to have to be much smaller groups, because Zooms, we probably all are aware, that don't work really well if there's loads of people on. Kind of a good number is maybe between 5 and 6 people, I think, at that. And so those will be really tight-knit communities to really get to know one another and to share kind of difficulties of either moving away to uni for the first time, or if you've never been part of the CU, actually just getting to know people for the first time. That's quite a nice space to do that in, although computers are not ideal and a bit awkward. But actually, hopefully that'll translate then whenever we can meet in person, to be really good communities kind of set apart on campus as well. I don't know if that really answers your question, but
yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, I think it relates even to the guys still at school, and maybe if there's been a reluctance to be involved in SU groups, or if you're kind of on the fringes, the benefits of pouring yourself into those communities and smaller groups within school life, whenever you're seeing these people every day, most of the week normally, it's a shared experience. So you have that in common, and there's that support that people even outside of the school don't necessarily understand in that sense.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I wasn't a Christian in school at all, but when I went away to university, like, our CU was a really crucial group for me to be part of, because had I have just stayed like in my halls and with non-Christians around me, it would have been so easy to kind of get carried away with that side of life again. And actually just having some Christians there that I knew were in the same position as me, in terms of, kind of Christians living by themselves in their halls or whatever, which could translate as well into school, of being the only Christian in your class, or whatever it is. That's like a real lifeline, isn't it, of how you share your faith, how you live differently whilst also being a friend. And I think it's important to get involved if you can.
So how has church life been in Liverpool? How's your church coped with the restrictions and limitations, and what are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I guess similar to White Abbey, I've watched a couple of White Abbey services online as well. We've moved everything online, so we have a video of the sermon. It's all pre-recorded, but it's released live on the Sunday morning, alongside a live chat, so people can kind of say good morning and react to the sermon as it's on, which is quite cool. Then we have our GCs, which is our gospel communities, similar, I guess, to our home groups.
Crossroads and Firehouse. And...
Yeah, they meet online on a Wednesday or Thursday, and we also met on the Sunday after church as well for a half hour just to pray together, really just seeking to love and care for one another well, even in the midst of all of this, because we're not able to meet one-to-one. You miss out on some of those crucial conversations over dinner, or just whenever somebody arrives early or whatever. So they've been quite good. And then we also had for the first kind of, I think, 3 or 4 months of lockdown, every day we had a prayer meeting as a church at 10 a.m. on Zoom as well, which was led by one of the elders, quick devotion, and then people could pray as they were led, really, for a half hour just every morning. That's changed to Tuesday and Thursday as kind of lockdown measures loosen. But it's been tough, and I think like every church has probably felt that real pull of wanting community and not being able to have it. But you kind of make the best of a bad situation, don't you? And we're quite lucky to have the internet in order to do that. Grandma Sophie.
So what else have you been up to? What have you been enjoying over a lockdown? Have you been reading or watching anything that you think is worthwhile jumping into, or anything you want to share?
So it's funny with lockdown, because I've gone through phases of productivity, really. At the beginning it was like a holiday with being on furlough, so I didn't do very much. I kind of rested, and then I got really productive, and then I've just come down the other side of that, and now I'm not doing it at all of worth. But I've decorated my house quite a lot. So I've painted this room and our hallway, and our bathroom's been repainted. So that's been great. And I've watched I watched the Frozen 2 documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh yes.
The making of Frozen 2. If you can watch it, I totally recommend it. It was so cool, and kind of made me want to be an animator. And then I remembered I can't draw, so.
Yeah, but then you also see the amount of work that they spend 6 months doing 5 frames for 2 seconds, and it's like, hey, that's my part of the film.
Yeah, that's so true. Like a slide or something, and then I'm finished. Yeah, that would be.
Feel like it was worth it.
Yeah, that's so true. Actually,
but it was really good. I really liked that documentary.
Although at this point in time, having not worked for so long, maybe it would be worth it.
Yeah, I'd take anything.
Yeah. And I watched then Frozen 2 after it again, because it's a wonderful film. What else have I watched? I watched a series on Netflix called Sweet Magnolias, and I don't think I'd recommend it. Not because of anything other than nothing really happens. I would recommend it if you are a fan of Hallmark films. So just really cheesy Southern American lovely things.
All right, thanks for the recommendation.
Did you want a serious answer of something that I've read that's good?
I mean, don't make one up. That's worse.
Yeah, make up a book. Then I'd have to write it. I have actually read a few things. Side by Side is a good book to read, which is kind of like it's a book that talks about both helping people and being the one that needs to be helped.
Okay.
So
who's that by?
Ed Welsh, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I read Enjoying God by Tim Chester. I forgot the title. It's just behind me.
What did you think the title could have been?
I don't really know.
What were the alternatives that were running through your head? Something about enjoying something.
That was the bit I can remember. I remember the God bit.
The fishing book, isn't it?
I remembered the God bit. It could have been anything God, really.
thanks, Sophie, for taking the time to catch up with us on Zoom here for what should have been our Village Week. Sad face again that we're not able to have the Village, but being able to catch up with you over this has been something that you would have missed out on because you would have been far away in the land of Liverpool. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.